Now, there we go. Okay, now we are recording. Okay, so I am super happy for the people that took time out of their day to hop on and learn how to mail packages super cheaply. And the best part is you don't even have to leave your own home except to walk outside to your mailbox. So who, just like raise your hand. I'm actually going to mute everybody really fast just so we don't have any background noise. And everybody can hear. All right, so I think that's good. So just like raise your hand, who mails out packages to their customers and goes to the post office and absolutely hates it?
113.
I used to. So I was like I hated going to the post office. It was like a love-hate relationship because I am the type of person that, if you hear the beeping in the background, sorry, my house is not about to blow up, but the oven's just going off and my husband's outside. So that's where we're at. But I hated going to the post office, but I loved it at the same time because I love just sharing Scentsy with everybody I come across, especially people that I build really good relationships with. And the post office was just one of those places. And so I always seen the same lady over and over again. And so she became one of my really good customers. So there can be pluses and minuses from going to the post office. But if I had my way, I would not go at all because I have 2 boys. Like I never know like what's going to be going on, how they're going to be acting, how long the line at the post office is going to be. Like it's just anxiety, like 110%, especially for me. I don't know about anybody else, but if I can avoid going, I'm going to. So I'm going to show you guys how to mail packages with PayPal. Now, this is just one way to do it. Don't feel like you have to do it this way because there's multiple different platforms that you can use. You can use Pirate Ship, I think, is another website that you can use. I'm not even sure all the different ones that are out there. But PayPal is what I have, and it's what I use, and it's super easy. So that's what I'm going to show you. We are going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to try and share my screen. Now, y'all have to bear with me because this is the first time that I'm doing Zoom with the share the screen option. So let's see. Okay. All right, so can you guys see my screen? Just like nod your head yes or no. Yes, okay, perfect. So I'm gonna go, so all you do is you go to paypal.com. It is super easy. Now I'm gonna say this. If you guys do not have PayPal, I suggest getting it for a few different reasons. I love getting PayPal, or I love using PayPal for my customers. I have a bunch of customers that, I don't know if anybody else is like this or their customers are like this, but they just don't quite understand how to order online. And so I make it easier for them because that's ultimately our job, is we want to make the shopping experience as easy as possible for them. And so I tell them, like, don't worry about it. Like, just screenshot me what you want and I will order it for you. I'll just send you a PayPal invoice, super quick, super easy, and I just order it for them. So that is one reason that I use PayPal. And side note, if nobody knew this, you can actually order a PayPal like debit card, and it doesn't charge you, like there's no fee or anything. It's just they send it to you. And whenever somebody sends you money, you can actually use that PayPal credit card or debit. It's not a credit card, it's a debit card, because there's no like annual fees or anything like that. It's just a place for you to have money, and you can use that debit card when you check out. So that's just a little side note. Okay, so hold on, there is some people trying to hop on, I think. Oh, yes. Also use Venmo. Yes, Venmo is great. Cash App is great. And you can also use Cash App. You can get a Cash App debit card as well if you guys have Cash App. It's really good. So using PayPal whenever you're shipping, first things first is you are going to have to make a business account. If you do not have a business account with PayPal, you're going to have to make one. And it's super easy. All you do is just log into your PayPal. And I think, so actually up here, there is an option to, right here where it says business, you can go down here, like if I didn't already have one, it would have an option to create a business account. So that's going to be your first thing, because I don't think that PayPal will allow you to mail packages unless you have a business account. But it's free. Like I said, it's free. You don't have to pay for it. It's super quick, super easy. So then all you're going to do is log into your account, and if it will load sometime today, that would be great. All right, so I am sorry, you guys. Apparently everybody in my house is deciding to use the Wi-Fi at one time. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna log into your account. Now, whenever you log into yours, it might look a little bit different than this, because I actually have mine set up right here where it says quick links, so that I don't have to like go and search for like everything that I use frequently. So if you're new to using PayPal and you're new to shipping things with PayPal, there's going to be like a little option up here that says tools, and you're going to click on that tools, and you're going to go down to all tools. Okay, and then an option is going to come up where it has this little truck right here, and okay, sorry, I'm just now seeing the chat. Yes, it's free. Can you change your account you already have? Yes, you can change it. Yes, perfect, Rob. Thank you for that, helping out. Okay, so you're going to come down to the little truck, and you're going to click on multi-order shipping. All right, now it might seem like a lot at first, so don't feel overwhelmed, because if it's a lot, this is obviously recorded. It's going to be posted on all the team pages, so you will be able to go back and rewatch it, like if it's a lot right now. But I will tell you, once you do it a few times, you'll get the hang of it, and it becomes super easy. All right, so then you're going to go to multi-order shipping, and then you're going to go to create shipment. Okay, so here's where you're going to enter in all your customers' information. So at this point, you already have, hey, can you do that a tiny bit quieter? Thank you. So at this point, you already have your, package made up. Okay, so this is actually one that I do have made up for a lady that ordered online, and I'm going to mail it out to her tomorrow. But I did not put the shipping label on it yet, so I wanted to do that with you guys. So you have your package made up, and at this point, you're going to have to get a scale, okay? So it's nothing fancy. This one has a cord, as you can see, but the only reason it has a cord is because it has to be plugged into like a USB to be turned on. But you can get scales from anywhere. You can order them from Amazon. You can get them from Walmart. You can get scales from anywhere. It's nothing but just a basic food scale, okay? So you just need something to weigh your package in like pounds and ounces. You'll use ounces more than pounds, especially if you're just mailing like thank yous and things like that. So you're going to want to get you a scale. I got this one. It was like sent to me from stamps.com when I signed up a long time ago.
That whole week.
Hold on, you guys. I'm sorry. There's people trying to get in, and I don't know how to turn that off. Okay, so you're going to want to get a scale. And so whenever you get to this point right here, if you wanted to keep track of like the order numbers, you totally can, but I am not that fancy or tech savvy. And so, all right, so I just entered in 1 for literally everything. And can somebody like nod their head and tell me that you can still see my screen? I'm just like, don't want to make sure I'm doing this for nothing. Crystal, I see you. Can you nod your head and tell me you can see my screen? Okay, perfect. Let's see. So I just put order number 1, item number 1, quantity 1. Then you're going to come down here to the item name. And now this is going to be like whatever you want it to be. So for this, it was like a thank you mail out. So if you wanted to keep track of your mail outs this way, you totally could. So I just write thank you right there. And then you're going to scroll down. And then right here, whenever you create your business account, it's going to ask you for your default address. And so I obviously have a lot, but I use my address. And you're going to select your address, which if you only have one default address, it will automatically pop up, so you normally won't have to worry about that. And then down here, you're going to come and put your customer name. So I'm just going to use mine, for example, just to have something on there. So you're going to put their name, their address, their city, state, and zip. Super easy. Then you're going to come down here to continue. And then right here is kind of like the tricky part, but it's really super easy. So don't let all of this like scary like mail technology or mail terminology like scare you. So priority mail service is actually a lot more expensive than this first class mail parcel service. So this is what I always use. So if you're taking notes or whatever, this is what I use. The first class mail parcel service, 2 to 5 days. For one, because it's a lot cheaper. They will have to wait like an extra day, but you still get tracking included if you wanted to track your package and that kind of thing. So I'll show you the difference between like the priority mail and the other one. So for the priority mail, if you wanted to do that one, I guess you totally could if you wanted to pay the extra. I don't know why anybody would. But you have to put in like the inches and the width and the height. And I don't know about anybody else, but I don't have time for all that, especially when I'm mailing stuff with 2 kids and we're trying to do all the things. So come up here, first class mail, 2 to 5 days, select that. And then you're gonna come down here, package thick envelope, because that's what you have a package. And then that's where your scale is gonna come in. So right here where it says ounces, take whatever kind of scale you have and you literally just turn it on, okay? And then you're gonna have to have it flat. I don't know if this will work because it has to be on a flat surface. And then you just put your package on top of that and you weigh it. So it's not gonna work. But I've already did this one, and this one weighs like right at 3 ounces, okay? And it'll tell you that on there. So you just take however many ounces it is, put in 3, come down here. You don't mess with anything else. I mean, I guess if you wanted signature confirmation, you could pay extra for that. I don't, because it's just a thank you. But you come down here and you create shipment. So it's super easy. So it just depends on how much your package is, as to how much it weighs. But it's normally for like up to like a 4-ounce package. It's normally no more than like $3 or $4 or $3. I've never paid more than $3. So then after that, it's really, really self-explanatory. Because after this, that's about as far as I'm going to go, because I'm not actually going to pay for this package. But if it'll load really fast. Let's see, does anybody have any questions? If you have any questions, please ask them in the chat. Yes, priority mail includes $50 insurance. Yes. Why is this not loading? Technical difficulties. Hold on. All right, let's see. All right, we're gonna go through this one more time. But, because I wanna show you this step after that, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't let me do it because I was trying to mail it to myself. But you'll see like how self-explanatory it really is. So I'm just gonna pretend I'm mailing a package to Felicia and she lives at 111 Block Lane. We're just gonna make up some random place. Okay, let's see if it'll work now. So I want to show you guys an important part. Maybe not. Okay, so we're not going to waste time on that, but it's super easy. So once you click create shipment, you are, so you are going to, it's not going to go to the next screen apparently. That's just my life lately. But once you click create shipment, you're going to go to the next screen and it's literally going to bring up a screen that says pay. Okay. And then you just select the card that you want to pay with. It's literally so simple a caveman can do it. So you select the credit card you want to use, you click pay, and then you're going to click print this label. Okay. So it's a little box is going to come up and it's going to say print this label. And then you're going to get yourself some labels. Now, if you don't have labels, that's totally fine. You can use like computer paper, and if you have just like clear tape, you can tape it to your package, just the same thing. But I have these labels, and you probably can't see, but they're 2 per page and they fold in half and they're sticky. So I really love using these, and I can share the link to these, but I got them on Amazon. I just typed in like 2 per page shipping labels. And then what you're going to do is I'm actually going to turn this off because it's annoying me because it's not loading. Hold on, let's see. Stop share. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to get yourself some labels. And then all you're going to do whenever the little box says print this label, you're going to put this in your printer, and then you're going to click print this label and then click the little printer, and it is literally going to print out the label that looks exactly like this. Okay. So it's going to be on one half of the paper. I already cut this. So it's going to come out, and then you're still going to have another half. So if you're doing like 2 mail outs or multiple mail outs, you can still use the other half of this. All you would do is just flip your paper over so that the blank side prints, and then put your paper back in the printer and print it. It's really so easy. But then I just cut around it to make it smaller so you don't have all that excess white. And then literally what you do is you unstick it and you put it on your mail out like this. And then all you do is walk this bad boy to the mailbox, put your flag up, and your mail person will pick it up the next day when they come. Okay, so it's so easy. Literally, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And that's just pretty much that. Like, it's really self-explanatory. And once you do it a few times, you'll really get the hang of it. But I think just the key thing is just making a business account and just playing around with it, because that's the only way that you're going to get better at it, is if you do it more. So that is just that on that. Did anybody have any questions on that? Let me bring up the chat box so I can see. Did anybody have any questions? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, so. Yes, we can make a post with all the items you need. Yep, you put it right in your mailbox. So that's that. And then it's like, it's so easy. Like, this was so much better than like taking the time, putting the kids in the car, going to the post office, standing in line. Like, it's just such a lifesaver. So that is that. And the other thing that I wanted to share with you guys is mail, because I get a ton of questions on, like, you can only use PayPal for mailing packages, but what do you do about like mailing mail? So I'm going to share with you guys what I do with that. Now, you can totally take this information and do what you want to with it, but I'm just sharing with you guys what I do to kind of take it and either use it or tweak it to make it your own. So with mail gets kind of tricky, but the easiest way that I can explain it is if you have a postcard. Okay, so this is like a postcard. So like I mail top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in my team every month for sales. So that is what this is, and that's all it is in this envelope, except for like some super fine glitter. And so if that is all you're mailing in this, you can do a 35-cent stamp. Now with stamps, you can order them on USPS.com and have them, like, order them, pay for them through them, and they will ship them to your house. You still don't even have to leave, which is the best part. Because like if I'm all about, like, if I don't have to leave my house, I'm not going to. So you can go to USPS.com, go through the different stamps, pick whichever ones you want or that you think you'll need the most, and order them, and they'll ship them for free to your house. Obviously, you have to pay for the stamp. So if you're mailing a lot of just plain postcards like this, you can use 35-cent stamps. Okay, now if you wanted to upgrade and you necessarily didn't want to send like a thank you package that was this like extravagant, and you wanted to do something a little bit smaller, which is totally fine, do whatever's in your budget. Okay. This is going to take a 55-cent stamp. So that is what these are. They're called forever stamps. And you can also get these on USPS.com. Just type in forever stamp, and there's like tons of little like designs I guess you could pick from you. I really didn't care. But for something like this, inside this envelope, I have a product list just to give you an idea of what this stamp covers, just one of these stamps. So I have a product list, I have a thank you card, and I have a flyer with a felt sample. And a like, did you know you would make X amount on your order? And that's all that I put in here. And so that is like roughly 1 ounce. And so that's again where your scale is going to come into play. Because what you can do is whenever you have all of this in your envelope, you can weigh it. And if it weighs more than 1 ounce, I'm going to show you guys what you can do. Let me shovel this back in here. Okay, so this as it is like right around 1 ounce. So I wouldn't try and put a 35-cent stamp on this for one, because of the thickness, because it's a little bit thicker. And I actually had a lady at the post office like kind of explain to me why they use the different level stamps. So for this kind of stamp, they actually go through different like little machines that sort them out, and they're thin. So like they have to be able to pass quickly. And so if it's thicker, it won't fit through the little machine. And so they need a bigger stamp to go to a bigger machine. And so that's like where the 55-cent stamps come in. So they'll know to put this in a different category because it's thicker. And for one, because it weighs a little bit more, if you don't have the right postage on it, it'll get mailed back to you, which we don't want, right? So that is that. And so if you weigh your package and say what you have in this envelope is like 2 ounces, you don't want to put, now this is going to be a lot. Okay, I know it's probably like, y'all are like, what in the heck is she talking about? But I want you to listen. And if you have to go back and rewatch the recording, please do, because it took me a while to understand the mailing world. But I wanted to take care of my customers the best way I could and with the less anxiety possible. And I knew that that was taking the post office aspect out of my life. Like if I could get that down pat, we would be good. I can say that like everything has gotten so much better, especially with my customer service, like since learning how to do all this from home. So if your package, what you have in your mail, and you weigh it and it weighs 2 ounces, if it weighs more than 1 ounce, you are going to put on a forever stamp. And then you can get these little guys that are called, what are they called? Uncle Sam's hat. I guess there's like different ones you can get. I just got whichever one popped up first. But they're called additional ounce rate stamps. And so they're basically 15 ounce, or they're 15-cent stamps. And so instead of putting, and why is it not opening? Okay, it's being difficult. But instead of putting on 2 of these, because you don't need 2 of these, if you put on 2 55-cent stamps on a 2-ounce package, you're wasting money. So you put on 1 of these and 1 of these little guys, and then that would be all you need. And so if your package weighs 3 ounces, you would put on 2 of these. So every ounce that's over your 1 ounce, you're going to put on a 15-cent stamp. Okay, I hope that made sense. It's really not like crazy, but like I said, if I can understand it and I can do it, it literally anybody can do it. So I just went through this last month. It was a lot. What do you mean, Keisha? Did you go to the post office or were you trying to do it from home? But yeah, so if your package weighs more, or if your not package, if your mail weighs more than 1 ounce, if it weighs 2 ounces, 3 ounces, 4 ounces, whatever, I mean, at that point, I would probably put it in a package like this because it might not all fit in an envelope. You would just use a 15-ounce stamp. Okay, so I hope that made sense. It's the only thing I can say is the more that you do it, the easier it will get. And so if you're looking for advice on like what to get to start out, I would suggest evaluate what kind of mail outs you do. If you do a lot of packages, then I wouldn't worry about stamps. But for me, I do packages a lot for my customers, and I do, where's my other one? I don't even know. Like my postcards a lot for my team. And so I use both for different aspects of my business. And so I always have both on hand. And so if you're looking like for the USPS.com, if you want to go and order stamps, I would recommend getting all 3. Okay, so that way you have them all in case you need them. And then my advice after that would be to take your paycheck whenever you get paid with Cincy and invest 10% back into, poor Brittany, she's over here in the queue waiting, I didn't see her. My advice would be to take 10% of your paycheck and invest it back into your business. And that's going to entail buying stamps, buying labels, buying mailers, buying things like that to take care of your team and your customers because they deserve it. And it doesn't take a lot. Like these stamps, like the 15-cent stamps I got, I think there's like 100 in here. They were like $15. These were like $7 and you get a sheet. 35-cent stamps are like $7. So it's not a lot of investment to take care of your customers. And plus you're saving time and money with mailing it from home, especially with the PayPal, because for this package, it was like $2.74. If I would have took this to the post office, they probably would have charged me $4 to mail this. Like homegirl ain't got money to be blowing out like that. And I'm pretty sure nobody else does either, especially right now. So it's a lot cheaper. You're saving gas, you're saving time, you're saving money, and you're so much more efficient doing it like this. So that is just my little 2 cents. I knew it wasn't going to be super long. Did anybody have any questions? Because I know that was kind of a lot, like really, really fast. Let me see. And you can unmute your microphone if you had any questions. Please feel free. I don't want you to feel like you have to stay quiet. Let's see. It was a lot easier from home. Yes, it is a lot easier from home opposed to the post office. Like I don't have time for the post office. And honestly, I can tell you that since I didn't have that post office connection with like my post office people anymore, like I've started hitting up my mail lady. Like I put samples in the mail for her, like in just like a little clear mailer. Like I stuck her some little thank you samples, and I like wrote on the outside like, for you, mail lady. I didn't know what her name was. And like I was out there whenever she picked up my mail. I was just like, thank you so much. Like I know I have a lot of packages going out lately. And she was like, girl, like I love Scentsy. So you can make customers anywhere. It's just about how brave you are to step outside your comfort zone and just do the scary things, because that's really all you have to do. So is there a way to print different size labels? What do you mean? Like, are you talking about for these? So for these, I don't think so, because whenever the screen pops up to print this label, it's just kind of like there, like on half of a sheet. And so actually whenever it prints out, I cut it to make that size, but this label fits on pretty much any package. Like I have these small mailers as well, and it still fits on there. So I don't really think that you would need to cut it down any more than that. And if you're mailing something smaller than like what would fit in here, then I would just use an envelope with a stamp. So I hope that answered your question. For the small bubble mailer, yeah, so this is like a pretty small bubble mailer. Like there's not much I can fit in here, so I don't use them very often, but it still fits, as you can see. So it's super easy. So yeah, I guess if nobody had any more questions, I will stop recording, but I just think the biggest thing for you guys to know is play around with it. Play around, make a business account on PayPal or whatever you choose to do. Yeah, you can cut it. Make a business account, play around with it, and just treat your customers the best way possible. I know that it has made me so much more efficient since I didn't have to think about even going to the post office. And all I had to do was literally just walk outside to my mailbox, put the flag up, and then the mail lady will take it. So, and then you don't have to worry about paying anything else. So, let me see, did anybody else have any other questions? And feel free to unmute your mic if you did. Let's see. No, nobody had any questions? Let's see. Where did Felicia go? I know. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had for you guys. I think that was it. So I am going to stop the recording, and if you guys have any questions, like I'm here to answer your questions, like because I know that I had a ton of questions whenever I first started doing this, because I was like, oh my gosh, like you're meaning to tell me that I can mail my packages from home, I don't even have to go to the post office. And Felicia actually had to walk me through how to do it on PayPal, and then she totally like forgot how to do it, so now I had to reshare her. Yes, Chloe, I will share it on the leadership page. So I was using stamps.com, and I wasn't, I didn't really, like I understood how to do it, but then I noticed that you could actually go to USPS.com and have your stamps mailed to you for free. Like you would just buy the stamps and they would mail them to you. And so I just did that because I was just like, I don't understand the whole stamps.com, but I did get my free scale out of it, so.
Yeah, please share it. I'm really sorry I'm just hopping on. I just saw this from Felicia, but I wanted to say that this is going to be super beneficial because, you know, I use stamps.com. However, it costs $14.99 a month. And so I don't use anything else. And so, yeah, I would watch the training whenever you post it so I can know what to share with some of my new leaders. Because that's not something I want them freaking investing into is $14.99 a month for stamps.com, you know?
Yeah, and the really cool thing about this is, you know, it's really, really good for our new people. Like it can be good for new consultants or new leaders, whoever you are, because PayPal doesn't cost. Whenever you mail things through PayPal, making a business account is completely free. All you have to do is pay for your packaging. And like I said, it's so much cheaper than going to the post office, because this was $2 to mail. Yes. All I do is walk outside and put it in my mailbox, opposed to like going to the post office. They would charge me like $4 or $5, and then they shake it and wonder what's inside. Like, get about my business. And so it's free. PayPal is free. Using stamps.com, you do have to pay if you want to invest in that. They do send you have the option to send you stamps, and you can print them off as you need them. Or you can go to USPS and order, I don't even know where my other ones went, order the stamps that I shared with you guys. You can get the 35-cent stamps, the 55-cent stamps, and then the 15-cent 1-ounce stamps for every ounce that it's over. So I hope that that wasn't like too much information all in one, but if you need to go back and rewatch it, then it's here for you to do that. And if you guys have any questions, please, please, please feel free to reach out to me, because that is what I'm here for. And yeah, it's free. Just know that it's free, it's easy, it's cheap. You don't have to go anywhere else except for your mailbox. So I'm going to stop the recording somehow.